This is a look at the impact that Justice Hill had on the Ravens' run game and their Week 3 win over the Patriots. I think some of it was scheme related, to be honest with you, but I think the characteristics that Justice Hill brings to the field actually help with this particular scheme. So what I'm going to talk about is our pistol counter wind back play, where Lamar Jackson opens to one side or the other. The running back initially veers to that side and then winds it back to the other side behind a pulling lineman, sometimes behind a pulling lineman and Patrick Ricard. So essentially, it looks like just backwards power. There was one example, I think, that I'm going to show in this video of J.K. Dobbins running that same concept. The Patriots really struggled with this concept. Whether it was 22 personnel, whether it was 21 personnel, they had an extreme difficulty when Lamar opened in one direction and then the running back wound it back to the other side. Sometimes you catch teams reading something and you can take advantage of it. I almost wonder if we didn't catch the Patriots reading the side that Lamar opens to, and once that counter started to really hit big, we just stayed with it. By my count, I have us for 5 plays for 55 yards, but I think I'm missing 1 or 2 plays in that addition, in that math that I did there for you. But I'm going to show you multiple plays from the all-22 angle and then the end zone angle. We know that Lamar is capable of keeping the football in the pistol option. These are generally going to be plays where I don't think he's reading it, where it's a called handoff. Having said that, there were certainly times where he could be reading it and chose to give it. So I think it really helped out Falele, to be honest with you, and Morgan Moses to a lesser extent. This one is a huge opportunity for the Ravens. Look at the lane that's here. You're going to get Lamar stepping off the midline, so he's got to clear his hips off the path that Hill is going to run, and then Lamar opens this way. The running back veers or winds it back to the other side behind the pulling kick-out block from Kevin Zeitler. Now, these guys aren't flowing. It's not like these linebackers are flowing with the running back. They appear to be trying to fit it on that side. We just have done a great job. Falele, clean release up to the inside linebacker. Ricard, who went over there and trips, is up on the other second-level defender. And Justice Hill, man, I love the violence he's running with. I don't mean violence in terms of like trying to run people over, but I feel like you can see the effort. This is the same play, by the way, from the end zone angle. I feel like you can see the effort that he's giving, and that he understands that this is, one of his last opportunities. This is going to be a great job by Ricard. And then Falele comboing up. These guys do a fantastic job on the front side of this. They pick up number 8 and number 30, the 2 inside linebackers. So you can see we've got the backside inside linebacker blocked up by Falele, the front side linebacker 30, who I mistakenly have referred to as a safety in other videos, and then Zeitler is kicking out Judon. I thought Judon really got slowed up when we started to run these plays, run these schemes where we were kicking him out. Not saying he doesn't deal with them well, but he wasn't able to just pin his ears back and take off running at the quarterback. Okay, kind of a version here of F counter. You could also call it power if you want to. This is Dobbins. So Lamar stepped off the midline. See how his feet and his hips are cleared, and he can look at the read man. Let's presume for a second that he is reading Judon. If he is, then this should be a give read, which it is. You've also got Ricard kicking out 91, and then Zeitler pulling and wrapping for JK to follow. Not as great a job by Oliver as you had on that last play by Falele, obviously. Oliver's going to combo down and then go pick up a second-level defender. And there does seem to be a little bit of overlap by that linebacker, pushing in that direction, kind of clogging that pile up. Andrews is really good at what they have him do here. They have him kind of fake like he's going to step to this D-end, which is wise. Just kind of freeze him up for a second so he can't close down, allowing Ricard to kick him out. And then Andrews goes and gets another defender. So even though, personally I don't think his blocking is as high a level as we've seen from Boyle and Ricard at times, he's being effective in the role they're asking him to execute. Pistol again with Dobbins back there, and same play that I just showed you from the all-22, just so you can get an idea of what we're doing with Ricard. He's initially lined up outside the tackle, and then he's going to motion. Why? That gives him a full head of steam, probably like a 7-yard run to go attack this D-end, and it's not an easy block. I think Daryl Johnston covered that during the game, that these are not easy blocks for Ricard to execute when he's running at an athlete the caliber of Wise and others. All right, different play, all 22 angles, same motion by Ricard, and the same wind back. And I love this one from Justice Hill. I mean, not just the gain that it's 34 yards. He almost takes it to the house, but the cut ability. So Ricard going here. Lamar's going to open this way to the left, and the back winds it back. That's a poorly drawn line there, but you understand the concept, hopefully. Andrew's doing the same thing with Judon, and Judon tries to collapse this down. So Judon, instead of trying to take it on, kind of flatten this out and make the run happen up in here where there might be more help, Judon tries to almost kind of wrong arm this and go underneath. And Ricard just does the right thing. He reads that and loops to the outside. And then this is the one where he's going to drive Judon into the turf. Judon's just not in a football position here when he takes on this block. And Ricard takes advantage of it. Great cut by Justice Hill. And then another great wind back, back to the near sideline. Almost gets in the end zone. I don't know about you, but I was jumping out of my seat when this one happened because I was really rooting for him to get in the end zone. Just to, reiterate some of the elements of it, you've got the midline, which is where the ball is. All right, I'm struggling to draw a straight line. Watch Lamar step off of that midline so that he gives that midline to Justice Hill. You can't have two players on the midline during a mesh when you're in the pistol. So his hips and his feet are way off that midline, giving Justice Hill a great angle and the ability to wind this back in the direction where it's intended to go. Andrews, again, does the same thing to Judon that he did on the other side. Watch this. He's going to act like he's going to block him and then step back out and go pick up another second-level defender. And I'm sure that's fun for you to watch, as it is for me, watching Ricard put Judon into the turf. Judon will always be a Raven in my mind, but he's such a talented player that, I was glad to see us get physical with him at some point. Pistol again, 22 personnel, Zeitler pulling, and it looks like Justice is almost getting ready to bounce this. You've got a pretty good combo by Falele and Ricard. I think the Patriots have identified where we're trying to run the football here, and we're doing a nice job, if you ask me, of running this away from Andrews, who on the previous two plays I've shown you, we have run the ball to his side. Lamar again stepping off the midline so Justice Hill can wind this back. And when I first saw this live, I thought maybe he was going to bounce it. But it looks like that DN that Oliver's dealing with is maintained outside position, and he's got a DB out there to help him. Same play, all 22 angle. There's Lamar opening up, pulling the guard, Zeitler. Zeitler gets out of there pretty good. It's a little wide in his track that almost reminds me of how the Browns run a play like this, except when the Browns run it, I believe that guard's supposed to pull to the outside, and the running back is supposed to wind it out there. I'll have to try to find some film this week to watch that play and see what direction the quarterback opens. But I seem to remember it being out of the pistol and the running back, kind of veering violently out to the left or out wide. Shorter gain. As the game went on, it seemed like the Patriots did a better job defending this concept. Justice Hill back here again. So they've pretty much bottled this one up. I feel like we're doing a good job blocking on the front side, these guys here. But they just have the extra defender over here in this safety that's dropped down, and we're unable to block him. So they've created an 8-man front, and Robinson is unable to finish him off. You can see Robinson is trying to get in here and pin him inside. Maybe get some movement this way so the ball can go off the backside of Robinson's block. If I remember correct, this one is essentially power. Yeah, it's basically power. We're just not doing a good job getting this D end out of here by Heap. This is Heap here, and he's trying to get this D tackle, I guess, actually out of there, and it's just too big a matchup for him. Falele doesn't help him at all. In my opinion, Falele should have helped him collapse that down, because you can see that the pulling guard, Ricard, ends up running into Boyle. That's just not a matchup that Boyle can win, if you ask me. I'm not running him down at all. I just don't think that he was put in a position to succeed in terms of the communication between him and Falele. All right, end zone angle, same play. So we're talking about this D tackle, 92. And it looks like to me Falele has incorrectly identified that he's got to go down and help on this D tackle, and I just don't think he does. I think we should be comboing the D tackle up to the backside inside linebacker, and then let the guard get with the front side inside linebacker. Falele's trying to get the backside inside linebacker. I feel like we'd be better served because of the matchup for Falele and Boyle to combo him, and then Boyle to work up to this backside linebacker who is actually personnel-wise a safety or hybrid linebacker safety. Bentley gets there and shuts it down even though we're blocking him. Falele can't close off 21, but the guy who really clogs this up is number 3, the block that Robinson was unable to get. I felt like the returns on this were diminishing as the game went on. We're still going to use this concept, obviously, against many teams. Maybe if we see the Patriots again, right? But I think the complement to this is the play action, and we will start to see that soon, if you ask me. If we're opening the running lanes up like this, eventually you'll see Lamar act like he's going to give the football and then kick back and us run our classic, over concept like that. Maybe the tight end delay out into the flats. The development of the run game, I think, was exciting. Clearly, Lamar had a huge impact in terms of yards. I offer to you that Justice Hill had a great impact as well, even though, and by the way, this is a play you've already seen, even though his yards, total yards, were nowhere near the impact that Lamar had. The fact that we had complementary players, Justice Hill, J.K. Dobbins to a lesser extent, the fact that we had complementary players actually contribute to the run game, I think is important because, again, it'll open up that play action pass game, which hasn't been a huge element of our offense this year, if you ask me. The 3 touchdowns to Duvernay were on third down, so they were not play action elements or play action concepts. The touchdown against the Jets by Bateman was like a semi-rollout pass. So I don't really call that play action, like typical play action, either under center or in the pistol, meshing with the running back or putting the ball out there and then kicking back to throw the ball downfield or an intermediate route. The slant touchdown to Bateman, I think there was a play action out of the gun on that. I believe it was based off motion, but memory could be wrong there. My point is, we're scoring all these points 99 through 3 games, and the run game seems to have just opened up, and it took a return to the pistol to do it. That would not have been my vote, to be honest with you, but I'm just a fan who wants the Ravens to win, so whatever is effective is what I'm going to root for. You guys let me know what you think of my breakdown of Justice Hill, this counter wind back play out of the pistol. Certainly, if we were this effective at it, mid-second quarter onward, we clearly are still practicing it a lot. I love that this was not our initial attack. I love that this was something we went to because we identified the circumstances that dictated that to us. Falele's in at left tackle. We're having trouble pass proing. We should probably run the ball and soften up these DNs, give them something else to think about. In my opinion, that's a brilliant tactical move by our coaching staff, and it's great that we have essentially 2 or even 3 different offenses to go to in terms of the way we want to attack defenses. Drastically different than some of the pass plays we have seen us have huge success with, particularly against Miami, even though Lamar did bust a 79-yard touchdown run there. If you ask me, we had a huge success with throwing the ball in intermediate and deeper routes against them, or at least developing deep plays from those intermediate routes. I think having the pistol there appears to be a good option to go to if our initial attack isn't working. You guys let me know what you think of my breakdown, what you think of Justice Hill's play, how the offensive line and guys blocked. Clearly, Patrick Ricard blocked really well. I did not think he was off to a great start this year, but this was his best game yet in terms of blocking, and you can see that in 2 of the pancake blocks that I showed you in this film. If you enjoy this content and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please consider doing so now. And then if you think other Ravens fans would like this video, please consider sharing it on social media, whatever social media you're a part of, to help the video get more exposure and reach. Look for a video on Marcus Peters to come out late Tuesday night if you're interested in seeing that content.